Today, talking about our subject, which is called energetic turbulence. This is one of the challenges I have with my energy and turbulence. When my energy is really high, and it's pretty high, I saw clients all morning. I taught a program right before jumping onto Facebook. And so I've been in this really big, expansive energy all day that my electronics don't sync up. And so it creates all sorts of craziness. Each of you, when you are in your high vibrational state or in a powerful source of energy, or maybe you're following your soul's purpose and having to break through things and do things differently, will have energetic turbulence. So, first of all, what do I mean by energetic turbulence? It's like when what you do in life doesn't seem to work. Like you keep running up against things, just like this Facebook Live that we tried to set up 10 minutes ago and nothing was working. So some people will feel like, oh, I keep running into things and I can't get things to work. I would call that energetic turbulence. Some people will experience energetic turbulence in terms of their physical um, ability to be present. So, for instance, maybe you're out with a group of friends or you're working with your colleagues, but your mind is running a million miles an hour. That would be turbulence. Another thing, I just recently taught this 2 day program. It was incredibly powerful. We were in energy for almost 48 hours. And this week I've been meeting with some of the folks that were in that program. And it's so interesting to see how there's other ways to experience it. Like, so some people are overly energized, like they're so energized that they can't sit down and get anything accomplished, or their mind is racing. Other people are finding that I just need to be in bed or I just need to lie down because the energy is moving. And so their process of managing energetic turbulence is to lie down. So those are like the common ways we know when we have some interrupts in the flow of our energy. And what we want to strive to is having our energy be as expansive as it can be, because when it is, guess what? We hold tons and tons of possibilities for ourselves. We are aligned to our soul, and so spirit and our spirit guides can help support us in what it is that we want to achieve and accomplish. When we're in expansive mode, it usually means we are really engaged in our empowering beliefs, moving forward, aligned to soul purpose, feeling like we're making an impact. So, this is where we want to stay. Now, what happens to us on a daily basis is that we have a vision, we have goals, we are trying to make movement, and sometimes things come up, whether it's life experiences come up or situations come up that pull you away from what it is that you're trying to do. And some people go to that place of, well, I can't really do this, so I guess I was not meant to do the soul purpose work that I thought I was. Well, others dig in and try harder and harder to make the movement. Now, the challenge is that if we have to dig in and like really grind and will our way to a destination, it means that we're not in flow, that we are in fact not aligned 100%. Now, maybe that's because we're digging in and we're grinding because that's our normal. Like, that's how we made movement in the past. But it doesn't mean that that's how you have to continue to make movement, because that's making movement really just from our mind. And we're not taking opportunity to make movement from spirit, from utilizing energy, and from just being aligned to our purpose. We're making movement based on what we think we should be doing, which whenever we use should, it means we have a whole bunch of judgments around it. So I want to be clear that each of you that will be listening to this may experience energetic turbulence in one way, or maybe all of the ways, depending on where you are in the process. The number one step that you need to take in order to get out of this energetic turbulence that's sort of making it challenging or difficult or has you retreating is first to recognize that you are indeed in energetic turbulence. Once you recognize it, then you have the opportunity to do something about it. So one is recognizing it. Oh, what's my pattern when I'm in energetic turbulence? For me, sometimes my pattern, if I'm in energetic turbulence, is my computers, electronics, phones, whatever does not work or I have challenges with it. So it's the first place I use as a clue to say, oh, I'm bumping up against something. The second place is, for me, is when I go into overwhelm. Most of us that end up saying, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, there's so much going on, I'm overwhelmed, it means that our minds are staying so busy or getting us busy, so we don't have space to do the deeper spiritual work that we'd like to do. So for me, that's how energetic turbulence shows up. I go into overwhelm. For somebody else, they might take to their bed, they might feel blocked, or they get really busy doing things that aren't aligned to what they're deciding that they need or want. So for you, recognize when you go into energetic turbulence. Once you recognize it, then you have some strategies to shift you from that place. So the first thing is think about what's causing the energetic turbulence. Am I disconnected from my soul purpose? Am I on this path that isn't giving me any fulfillment or any gratification? I was working with somebody yesterday who said to me, I'm so used to identifying myself in a certain way that it's really challenging to allow myself to move into a new opportunity or way of being in my professional life. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. But does that identity give you pleasure? Does it bring you joy? Does it expand you? And she goes, no, I was so over that identity 10 years ago. So that is something that's keeping her stuck. Her mind is latching on to an identity that's not aligned to her soul purpose. So when you start to recognize, I'm stuck, I'm in this turbulence, the first thing is to look spiritually. Am I aligned to my soul purpose? The second thing to do is to look at what are the beliefs I'm living into that are keeping me stuck or bumping against a wall or not allowing myself to have what it is that I desire. Another way that can show up is as fear, because our soul purposes tend to be bigger. They're aspirational. We move towards them. We take steps. A lot of times our soul purpose is so big we can't embody it all at once, but we can embody pieces of it. And what you notice is that when you go on your journey to live from soul purpose, you start in one place and you embody those pieces, and then more and more begins to be offered to you so that you get to show up bigger and bigger and more expansive. On the physical level, so that's on the emotional level, you might have some beliefs getting in the way, you might have some fear that's stopping you. And then on the physical level, you might have physical reactions. Like if you're so over energized, meaning there's so much energy coming towards you that you're overcharged, it's very hard to get something done. Or you're under energized, like there's a lot leaving. So when somebody takes to their bed or says, oh my God, I feel like I have to nap every day, I'm just so out of sorts, it's usually because based on the work that that person has done, there's a lot shifting out of their consciousness, of their energy field. And a lot of times, our brains need to be shut down to have that shift out of us. When you recognize that, you can give yourself grace to allow yourself those naps or the rest days that you need, so that when the energy moves out, you're back to feeling aligned. Now, the last thing that you want to do when you run into energetic turbulence is first you check and say, hey, am I on board? Am I going along the soul purpose route? Are there beliefs coming up? Is there energy leaving me? And the last thing is, how do I get grounded now in this new expansive energy? How do I allow myself to step in and be this big energetic being in the world who's moving beyond fear, beyond limitation, beyond like stuck mindsets, so that you can really do what you came here to do? Whatever that soul purpose was for incarnating in this lifetime, it's now available to you. And to ground yourself in that energy, I would say you want to do a meditation every day where you imagine yourself aligning to your beautiful soul purpose. And if you don't know that, comment. We're happy to guide you to your soul purpose. But let us know. It's a easy and elegant process to get you there. So leave us a comment. Now, when you are aligned to your soul purpose, when you are feeling good and confident in it, that's when Spirit can come behind you and give you opportunities and be that wind on your back that pushes you when you hit something challenging or hard. So this process called how do I get out of my energetic turbulence can be very simple if you play the detective in your own life. First you recognize it, and then you see where you're getting impacted. Based on where you're getting impacted, you do some of the strategies to shift it that I spoke about. And then you wait to feel yourself back in alignment, in ease and flow. That's how you know you're in expansive energy again, and you're aligned with your purpose, and action becomes easier. All right, so that's what I wanted to share today with you around energetic turbulence. It came from talking to a whole bunch of people after the big shifting workshop that we did a few weeks ago, and people are in various states. One of the things that I've heard over and over again is, I thought when you go down the spiritual path, life should be good all the time. And what I will say to you is, yes, life is better most of the time. But when we go to to like stretch ourselves or to take on something big and new, we will bump up against our own mental mindsets, our limiting beliefs, maybe some old energetic patterns that still live in our field. So know that that's normal, that there's nothing wrong with that. What becomes wrong is if you don't take any action around it and you just say, oh, I guess I can't do this. No, it's coming up so that you have the opportunity to recognize it and clear it and move beyond it. Like you do not have to carry that old energy or the limiting beliefs anymore. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye now.